So, when we do certain sound healing things, we place these on the body, we move them around the body. We're harmonically creating the proportions of the vesica. Of course, if you spin a vesica Pisces, it looks like a football. I always laugh at football games. They're throwing this three-dimensional vesica Pisces around, So all of the different forms have their plus and minus. Now, another very big part of that is that I teach a lot about is that here's the frequency of the DNA way down low. E double flat, almost a G. Right? This is the frequency of the 24-hour day in this octave. Go. And here's its opposite. Now the DNA note is the undertone. It's the 675th undertone, octavized. In other words, put 1 over 675 and multiply it. And then the other opposite is the number 675 in any octave you want. So I consider overtones are whole number multiples of any fundamental, and undertones are whole number divisions. So the actual DNA is an undertone of 675 or an undertone of 86,400, which is really going to be the same. And the overtone is the reverse. It's just any octave, just octave of 675. So the night side of nature is the DNA is the undertone, which I consider the night side, and the other one, and I'm playing at 168.75, 168.75, that's the day side, the male part. So by playing these two together, you get that whole wave, the overtone and the undertone. So I use the DNA note for the root chakra and its opposite for the crown. And the color of the DNA is a red with the tiniest little bit of orange in it, and the color of its opposite is violet. When you mix red and violet together, you get magenta, which really should be the color of Valentine cards. It's the perfect balance. Red has its place. There's a physicalness only. But magenta is like a higher work there, So this is also throughout musical harmonics, the male and female principle working. One is the opposite of the other. These are the twin flames. They were created. One is by dividing, one by multiplying, and you can do them in any octave that you want. So, quick summary there. You see the blue light pervading everything, the balancing of things like vesicas being inside. You can create this field around you as a geometric field in your mind and surround yourself in it. It's a very good protective field. You can place yourself like a saint in this. They're not going to put you up on a church or anything. You just tear it with you, go to the store, go buy coffee in the coffee shop and have a little vesica coming around. Have a power failure, at least you keep the power on. It's very worthwhile. And then you do the breathing, got that. You learn the breathing of the black light through the exhale and the golden light through the inhale, totally balancing the male and female part. You understand that part about the opposite, like the part that we see of a pyramid, but there's the underground part of what that is. So, what to pay attention to are the unseen forces as part of that aspect of the goddess energy. What you don't see. There's a lot of the trained shaman work. Their real magic is with the part that we don't see. Because it's not visible doesn't mean it's not as powerful or even more so. And it's not visible for a reason without the right consciousness. to tune into it. That's part of it. It's got its own protective mechanism. It stays invisible. So I feel like we have a responsibility to create these fields for ourselves, so everywhere we go, we're balancing the realities that we touch, people, and even the thoughts that we have, those thoughts are going into people and creating sounds in their body, just by our thoughts. So we can then walk around as a temple, and be tuning the realities that we come in touch with, because I feel that's really necessary to do those things, to put things back in balance. Plus understanding. You can take these understandings that I'm mentioning today and apply them anywhere. Is a way of walking through the world, understanding a type of balance where you're not afraid of that. See, the fear that has to be overcome now was the fear of separation. And that's where the desire by scientists to conquer nature, to conquer the weather instead of cooperating with nature, because somebody got afraid of nature. Destructive forces happen. Ooh, this is terrible. So by not understanding it and working with it, there was a desire to conquer it. This is my interpretation of that. And then that's led to all kinds of bizarre things. Yes, time?